Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a fairly balanced rack, a little bit clunky with the C and the F. I have the full suffix, and opponents played pal. Does the A assist? Not that I can see, so perhaps a play of maybe a play of fool for 15. That's a little bit better. And there might be a 7 here, but I haven't seen one straight off the bat. So I'll be looking at floaters, candor, words ending in IC. Now I do also have the die prefix. Not seeing something straight away, but let's see. So acorn plus ID. Conaria, but not conarid. Opponent taking some time with this move, and he does bingo. Now, that E looks extremely useful. I was thinking of ordinance, but that's a 9, not an 8. Wow, there's got to be something here with the E. Just not seeing it. Now, maybe just coder. I'm not seeing a bingo. Unfortunately, I think I might have missed something there. Now, cat next to full. Cannot. Okay, opponent bingos again, so got some catching up to do, and I'm nowhere near a bingo rack, which is a shame, because yeah, it's gonna be tricky to get back into the game if opponent just keeps scoring. Just looking at J hotspots. Gin and Fan takes a D front hook. 37, a decent score. Opponent taking a bit of time with this move as well. Perhaps 3 bingos back to back. No bingo there, but I will go with Gin for 37. Now, Wonky. Is Fank good? No, I don't think Fank looks good. Front hooks for Yui. Looking at ways to maximize score with the X, but I haven't identified any NX plays like Yanks. So my attention's still focusing up on the top right there. Spall, I think, is good. Front hook for Spell, possibly. Deoxy from a D. Okay, opponents played Cud, which stuffs my plan up. I was going to say Onyx would be good, but Faney no good. I might play it here just to create some volatility. 48 points. Opponent's likely to score through the X, but I've got to keep forging ahead. Now, what about haven't seen great options there. Baxter. That would score quite nicely. 45. Be very surprised if opponent doesn't play in column O. Okay, opponent plays Ho there. Now, doesn't help me much. Betax is no good. It has to be betaxing, but retax is fine. .36 play, and it takes out a hotspot. Now I'm just 30 behind, but an awful rack. UWW and the K. Cud takes an S. Kutu is good, but leaving 2 W's on your rack, that's pretty unideal. I have war here for a miserly 14. That's not a score I want to be. I was going to say Uke would be nice. EWK doesn't play there. Kutu, I guess. Gee, those 2 W's. Just awful. Not a plethora of scoring spots. Maybe just web 24. Okay, I draw the Z. And again, actually, there is a good Z spot. Yes and Zo for 52. Pretty safe as well, because nothing plays under Yes. So that would be great if it remained available. Opponents played Gem. Okay, so Zo comes down for 52. I draw the second blank, but the rest of the rack pretty awful. Walk would sort it out somewhat. No U's to come, so not a tragedy hanging on to this one, because wow, look at all those I's. Walk scores quite well, and it gets rid of the clunky W and K. Looking at other options of sorting the rack out. Tauk, not terrible either. That's even a slightly better rack leave than Walk. Although Walk does create a nice bingo lane, well, 2 lanes either side of the W, which I'm happy with because of how close to a bingo I am. But that U, now this is a lot more attractive. Tauk becomes the definite favorite here. Yeah. terrible pickup. Wow. Couldn't have been worse. So what to do with the V, the W, and the P? I've established a small lead, slender, but opponent will no doubt re-establish his lead there, I'd say. Although the board not very not very open, so scoring spots are few and far between at the moment. The U through the U seems to be the best option. Opponent's given me a good spot to get rid of my V and W. Totally safe. Now, still very Val dry. Opponent is hopefully swamped in eyes, and if he is, I might play dump. He's also low on time. Perigon, gem, no front hooks. Add gem, no. What about playing a P? Are there two S's to come? I was thinking I could set myself up. I might play dump here and hope for some vowels. That's nice. I have cyanite and no doubt loads of other bingos. But do I have a bingo ending in a H? Wow. If opponent plays next to the D, he's gifting me a bingo lane, because there's no blocking tiles like C's or V's. So I should be bingoing next turn. What about a fancy play ending in AM? That's not likely. Opponent plays Dan. Now, I'll just quickly have a look at an ISH ending, or even a TH ending. Something like Zenith. No. And I wonder how to make the bingo difficult for opponent to come back from. So cyanite. Actually, that's not bad. I would obviously play my E there. Switch those around to score a little bit more. 63. The S could be a useful floater. I just want to have a look if there's something better. Viniest. It's got to end in I or E. What about ending in an I? Okay, cyanite. Oh, opponent's, I think he's got a bingo here. Pretty sure he does. Senari or something. Yes, Senari plays down there. Looking at fives ending in O, I, or E. Helio. Helios. Opponent's likely to play here. No bingo ending in H. Oh, okay, opponent doesn't bingo. Leish. 38. And OI to go out. Where's the best spot for OI? Well, opponent's going to go out. Goes out with aim. So, thank my opponent. Now let's see what we missed. Let's have a look. So first opening move, planar or pal. Planar slightly better with the equity of 21, but pal looks fine as well, keeping the board tighter. Now crop full, yeah, there weren't fantastic scores there. I went with full to balance the rack. Pierogen and Perigon. Pierogen and Perigon. Opponent bingos. Crinoid. No bingo here. I took an age and there was a 4-timer. Crinoid. 40 points. I went with the option of blocking the hotspot, which I still like. Coda. Now opponent's got a multitude of bingos to choose from. Goes with fritters for 90 points, catapulting him into a 120 point lead. And then I've got cat for 31, which does seem best. Yui for 20, Corsi for 28. That's quite nice. Through the S. Giving a little bit of score back to me. So Yui looks okay. Very good rack leave after Yui. Jin for 37 I liked. Join. I don't like join because it leaves the J right next to the double. So Jin still good for me. And then no bingo here, but getting close for opponent. Goes with Cud. Cud was 18. Da for 26 with a nice rack leave. 3L. Da, which doesn't take an S. That's quite nice. Anyway, opponent goes with Cud. And now Onyx for 48 was best from this position. Snauk also available from the S, but giving back score as well to opponent. I've just skipped So opponent had Ho for 27, which looks fine. Heya through the Y. That's quite nice for 38. Big score. Goes with Ho. And then, re-wax, of course. How did I miss that? Playing re-tax instead of re-wax. That was a miss. Anyway, it was just a few points, but the rack leave is the other issue. I'd much rather have the T than the W lingering on the rack. Vega for 28, or Rav for 27. Opponent goes with Ver, perhaps to block that bingo lane while establishing a small lead. I managed to score 24 here just to keep in touch with opponent, and it does look fine. Although 14N WE. Now U does take an S, so that could have been an easy 40 to 50 point comeback. And the rack leave not great. I mean, it wasn't great after web either, but I just found that with 3 S's and a blank, and the Z unseen, U does take an S, and WE would have, or could have landed me in a game losing scenario. So I went with web. Then opponent's got mag for 29. He goes with gem. Zo for 52 gets me back in the lead. And then Agio for 16. Aga for 18. Nothing fantastic. Now, opponent's play of Agio made me more committed to the Tauk play. And I thought that was as good a leave as I was going to get from that lot. Now, opponent's got Bandora. No place for it. And nothing through the U. So he goes with 1 for 31. That looks fine. Now, clunky with the VWP combo, but Vor was a bit of a godsend because it was safe and left me with a decent enough rack leave. Considering there were a lot of vowels to come, I didn't feel too bad leaving 3 consonants on the rack, or 3 consonants and a blank. Opponent, banders again, so that's a shame. He didn't have a spot for his bingo twice. And none playable. He goes for a rack balancer. That's a very strong sander. A great 6-letter set. And now I dump a few of my consonants to give myself a shot at bingoing, and also just to generally balance the rack up. Now opponent, no bingo here, but if he scores 29, he's right up there again with me. So 7H, Dorts, and gins. I think that would have been a good play for him, because 2 S's to come and a blank, so he had to assume there's some goodies in the bag, and that catches him right up. But he goes with Dan for 15, very strong leave, and now I've got cyanite, isotene, unitize. Perhaps unitize would have been better. I didn't want to leave a useful S at the top. I was thinking of other bingos, but yeah. That's fine. Cyanide comes down, and opponent did have Sonari on his rack, and it played at 9A down. That would have been interesting, because that would have caught him right up. There would have been one in the bag, but I would have played Helios. Or Leish I would have played as I did. So, yeah, scenario I wouldn't have won. Opponent went with Arisen and then Leish for 38. And opponent goes out with Aim. So that was the end of the game. One or two misses there. And yeah, pretty good though. It was a little bit closed up, and right at the end getting that bingo down. But if I didn't bingo there, it might have been quite interesting, because the scores were pretty close. Yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.